There are three selves. This is a formula. It's not even a formula. It's a way of living. It's a way of being that I've had to develop to help me stay aligned with what's meant for me and to disconnect from what's not. Number one, I have a past self. I love her. I express reverence to her. And I appreciate every single decision and habit she ever got tangled up in, no matter how shameful or embarrassing or filled with guilt she may have made me feel at some point. Every single decision she's ever made brought me to who I am in this moment. The highs, the lows, the mistakes, the awards, the triumphs, the failures, like all of it. She helped build me. And that kind of goes back to the whole life force energy, right? We focus on what we don't want, therefore we get more of that. And my past self, I was repeating her patterns over and over again because I was focusing on what I didn't want. I was focusing on how this isn't working out for me. I don't like this. This keeps happening to me. Why does this keep happening to me? Instead of asking myself, how do I get something different? How do I move closer to something better for me? Before you get all caught up in what you want to change, you have to become aware of what needs to change. And I say become aware, and I mean it as if like it's your full-time job to know what goes on inside your head, to know what goes on inside your body, to know what goes on inside your soul, where you have desires, where you want more. So you need to know yourself. And the best way to know yourself is to go back in time. Check out your past self. What are some stories that are coming through as I speak about your past self that are making you like, I really don't want to revisit that. I'd rather not go down that road. I invite you to, because nobody's going to do it for you. And this is your chance to rewrite the story. So if something's shameful to you, if you've labeled a memory or an event in your life shameful or filled with guilt or wrong or bad or embarrassing, this is your time to rewrite that. Because that writing, that whole shameful, that whole embarrassing, you're labeling yourself that, even if it's your past self, even if you don't even do or say the things that that version of you used to do, she's still or he's still a part of you. And you have to own that. And so the number one thing you need to do when you look into your past, when you revisit those problem areas, those challenging parts of you, forgive. Forgiveness and non-judgment are going to help you see through the eyes of compassion. Forgiveness and non-judgment are going to be the antidote to not liking parts of yourself. It needs to be forgiven. And even if it's something that happened outside of you, maybe it's something that someone did, someone said, the way someone treated you, you still need to forgive yourself. Because even if you forgive them or don't, it's you that has to deal with that. That's kind of like that trigger. We're so focused on who triggers us, and we're not recognizing that we were the ones that were triggered. So yeah, they pushed the button, but how did they know how to push that button? What button is it? How do they have that power over you? They do because you have a story saying they do. So what do you need to forgive? How can you be more compassionate? How can you show yourself less judgment? See yourself through the eyes of compassion. My past self, my current self, and I'm pretty sure my future self will always be determined, will always be hardworking, will always want something different than the norm. This is something that I truly feel is etched in my DNA. This is how I've been since I was born. I want different. I see things differently, and I go after it with tenacity. Now, I may burn out, but it's always something I'm going to come back to. And I have to give props to my past self for that. She had to work through the kinks of what it was like to be tenacious as a female. She had to work through the whole, will they accept me? Will they not? And I give reverence to her for that, because now I don't care if you accept me, but I had to go through it first. I had to go through it to recognize, oh, okay, this is my journey. And so she teaches me so much by recognizing the patterns that I never want to repeat. She teaches me so much because she is a version of me that I can revisit and express love to. And if you've ever watched any sci-fi movies, you know that love transcends time. I send love to my past self all the time, and it heals current wounds because she's still a part of me. Those memories, I can work to heal them because I send her love, because I don't judge her for where she was, because I know she did the best she could with what she had going on for her. And the more that I can forgive my past self, almost as if she's separate from me, because we tend to be kinder and more loving and compassionate to family members or friends or people we're in relationship with. But ourselves, we have a little trouble with that. And so this practice really helped me. I separated all three. My biggest tip to you is forgive and practice non-judgment with your past self so that you may see her through the eyes of compassion. And if you see her through those eyes, you're going to start to see yourself that way. Who you are today is who you will be in 5 years if not a damn thing changes. So if you haven't made changes in the last 5 years in particular areas of your life, what's going on there? Are you happy with what's going on there? Because if you're happy, leave it. But if it's not serving you, and it's not so much happiness as it is comfort and familiarity because you'd rather not change, you need to revisit that. And you need to ask yourself, how can I forgive? How can I practice non-judgment while revisiting the things that I have to forgive? And how can I see myself through the eyes of self-compassion?